Over the past few months, I've been covering what I call Apple's war on refurbishing. Whether Apple is putting kill switches into Macbooks to keep any unauthorized individual from making a part swap, or trying to redefine refurbishing as counterfitting through frivolous lawsuits, they've kept very busy. What's next? Attacking the other side of the market. Up until now, it's only been the back end getting attacked. The back end repair and refurbishing processes that allow us to repair devices. Now, the front end is under attack as well, where repair shops and small businesses sell repaired Apple devices back to the customer via retail and online e-commerce channels. Selling refurbished MacBooks on eBay and Amazon has been John Bumstead's bread and butter for many years, until recently. Apple struck a deal with Amazon whereby only Apple-certified refurbishers can sell Apple's products on Amazon. According to Motherboard, in an article I'll link below, as part of a new agreement with Apple, they're working with a select group of authorized resellers to offer an expanded selection of Apple and Beats products, including new releases in Amazon stores. The email says, "That sounds great. You are receiving this message because you are currently selling or have previously sold Apple or Beats products. Your existing offers for those products will soon be removed from Amazon's online store in the United States. Please contact Apple if you'd like to become an authorized reseller on Amazon," states the email to John, essentially ending his business. Continuing from the Motherboard article, as the email notes, this is part of a new agreement between two of the largest companies in the world that will allow Amazon to sell new Apple products around the world. In exchange, Amazon agreed to let Apple pick and choose who is allowed to sell Apple products on the site. As Motherboard also states, you have to buy $2.5 million every 90 days directly from some sort of authorized carrier or manufacturer in order to maintain this agreement. Which means that unless you are spending $10 million a year on Apple products, you are no longer going to be able to sell Apple products on Amazon.com as refurbished. Now, I understand that there are people who will say, but third-party refurbs can potentially be low quality. They're not up to Apple's high standards. Now, I'm going to be the first to say that there are a lot of bad practices and a lot of idiots in our industry, and I do my best to point them out here when I see them because I want to be a part of keeping my industry's reputation clean. That being said, let's take a look at how Apple has refurbished some devices through their own extended warranty programs. Here's a 2011 MacBook Pro, repaired by Apple for the GPU replacement under their extended warranty program. Notice that the board has just a little bit of sunburn, where they kept it on the BGA rework station a little too long, or ramped up the temperature too high to get more machines done in a shorter period of time. When you do BGA rework, the board should not look like this. It should not be this glazed brown where you can clearly tell where the rework was done. This board is going to fail again several months after the customer got it back. Not reliable. Here's a 2012 Retina MacBook Pro repaired for the issue of the GPU buck converter chip coming off the board. Yes, that is crusty solder on that chip that is being pushed back onto the board with what looks like a little piece of shoe rubber. Their idea of refurbishing, when a board has a chip that is coming off of it, is not to repair it properly or to redo the casing, but rather to put a little piece of rubber there so that the chip smashes itself back into the board to make a good connection. Great job. I do not imagine that these machines will be barred from being resold on Amazon under this program, even though they'll surely fail again, and terribly I might add, because they were refurbished by Apple Authorized refurbishers. There is nothing special about Apple Authorized refurbishers, whether it's their BGA rework or their rubbery solutions. Now, I believe that the free market has given us great solutions to tell the reputation of a refurbisher in the modern age. From business review sites like Yelp, independent forums, Google reviews, Amazon and eBay seller ratings, you can tell pretty quickly good shops from bad ones. Do we really want Apple and Amazon policing us from seeing items or sellers before there is even evidence that a seller has resold poorly refurbished devices? In the case of John Bumstead, he has over 3 years of selling on these websites where he has gotten an excellent reputation for selling excellent devices that work and supporting his customers. And he is going to be booted off. He is going to be pushed into the category of all the shade tree mechanics and refurbishers that do terrible jobs, reflow GPUs, and sell things that are barely going to work for 30 days. People can already file an A to Z claim and get a full refund and their return shipping paid for if anything is poorly refurbished on Amazon. Is there really a reason for Apple to be this far into our business? Now, many people are going to say, okay, listen, you should become an Apple Authorized repair center if you actually want to do this. Yeah, I know they want you to buy $10 million a year worth of devices, which 99% of the people in this business are not going to be able to do, but you should do it. Let's say you jump through all those hoops. As can be seen in this video, Apple certified and authorized repair centers are so crippled they can't even replace a charge port or a headphone jack. and must mail out phones to do basics like replace screens. When you combine that with the fact that you need to be spending $10 million a year to be inducted into this program, you can see that this is business suicide. Nobody with half a brain or a calculator is going to go into this business. This also brings us to another important point about e-commerce that I've been trying to make many times over the years. Owning your platform rather than renting it is key to long-term success. Plugging yourself into Amazon or eBay will get you quick, instant sales. However, the cost is much higher than just the upfront fee. The real cost is that you do not own your success. Years of work on a platform that you've given hundreds of thousands of dollars to can be erased in the blink of an eye if they decide that they don't want you on that platform. Building up your own platform will not get you sales as quickly, and it will take time. It will take you a lot of reputation building, a lot of hustling, and a lot of hard work. But in the long run, no one can take it away from you. Your online store, if you create it yourself, is yours. While I love Amazon as a buyer, and I admit that, I would never use them as a seller. I have 7 employees who support themselves and their families from the salaries I pay here, and I cannot afford for my business to be pulled out from under me just because of a policy change. Every now and then, I wonder to myself if Apple is really that controlling, that overbearing, that bad. Maybe I'm just a little out of my mind. But here Apple goes, on my day off, getting legions of people with positive reputations who sell great long-lasting machines kicked off of another website that doesn't even have much to do with Apple. This isn't even about corporate greed anymore, to be honest with you. I can only imagine the board of executives at Apple get sexually aroused by bad PR at this point. That's the only explanation that makes sense to me. I've never in my lifetime seen one company be so much of a cunt. Also, I wanted to take this chance to say thank you so much to everybody who sent well wishes and good thoughts after my concussion and building fire. Today, I'm taking the first day off since August to recuperate and appreciate having so much kindness overflowing in my inbox over the past month. You're all the best. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something.